If your net worth went to zero tomorrow, could you still pay your bills? Because here is the uncomfortable truth. You can have $1 million net worth and still feel broke. That's because net worth doesn't pay your bills. Real financial freedom starts the very first time money shows up in your account without you working for it. And today, I'm going to show you the 3 specific income milestones that actually change your life. Most people never even reach the first one, and it's not because they're lazy, it's because they quit too early. Before we go further, I want to be clear about something. I am not sharing theory here. I remember the exact moment when I earned money for the first time without trading my time for it, and it completely rewired how I think about work, risk, and freedom. That's why this matters so much to me.
It's not even about the amount of money, it's about that whoa moment. For the very first time, money just appeared. You didn't trade your time for it. That feeling is what changes the game, and that's where we're going to start.
Okay, so let's get real for a second. In the world of finance, we're all kind of obsessed with one big number. It's the one everyone loves to brag about on social media. But what if it's just a distraction, a mirage?
All right, so let's break this down real simple. On one side, you have net worth. That's like the sticker price of everything you own, your stocks, your house, the whole shebang. It's a big, impressive number, but it's mostly on paper. And then you have cash flow. And that is the actual spendable cash that hits your bank account every single month. One is potential energy, the other is real kinetic energy.
And honestly, this says it all, doesn't it? You can have $1 million portfolio, but you can't use it to buy groceries. You can't pay your mortgage with a stock ticker symbol. Cash flow, that's your financial oxygen. It's what lets you breathe. And it's the only thing that actually kills that day-to-day money anxiety.
So, if chasing that one massive net worth number is flawed, what's the alternative? Well, the journey to real freedom isn't one giant leap. It's actually a series of steps. So instead of one intimidating goal, let's look at a clear 3-milestone roadmap. And here they are. These aren't just random numbers. Each one is a specific target that fundamentally changes your life. Not just your bank account, but your mindset. You've got the proof, the shield, and the freedom. And trust me, each one unlocks a totally different level of security and possibility.
All right, let's jump into the first one. And honestly, this might be the most important one on the whole list, because it's all about psychology. This is where an abstract idea becomes real.
The magic number? $1,000 a month. Yeah, 12 grand a year.
I want to say something most people skip over. When I was chasing my first $1,000 a month, it felt slow, frustrating, and honestly, kind of embarrassing. Nothing about it looked impressive from the outside, but internally, it changed everything. That's why I believe this first milestone is psychological before it's financial.
This is the point where you prove to yourself that this whole passive income thing isn't just some fantasy you read about on the internet. So how in the world do you get there? Well, you've basically got 2 paths. The old school way? You need a lot of capital. We're talking around $300,000. But then there's the sweat equity route. This is where you put in the work. You build a YouTube channel. You create a digital course. You write a book. You get the idea. Way less cash up front, but way more hustle.
And look, let's be super clear here. $1,000 a month is not going to let you retire on a beach somewhere. That's not the point. The point is, it's proof. It's that light bulb moment where your brain goes, oh my God, this system, it actually works.
Okay, on to milestone 2. This is where things start to feel really different in your day-to-day life. This is where that constant, low-level financial stress that so many of us live with just starts to melt away.
The next target is $3,500 a month. That comes out to $42,000 a year. A lot of people in the personal finance space call this lean financial independence, or lean FI, and for a very good reason.
See, at this level of income, your basic survival needs are met. We're talking about what they call the big 3: your housing, your food, and your transportation. All those fears that keep people trapped in jobs they hate, like, how am I going to pay the rent? They just vanish. It's like having a financial shield.
And this is where the real power kicks in. It is not about being rich, it's about having options. You can finally say no. You can walk away from a terrible boss. You can take a chance on that business idea you've been dreaming about. You start operating from a position of strength, not desperation. Your boss, they just lost all their power over you.
And now for the final stage. This is where the numbers get really big, and the whole game just changes. We are talking about completely, 100%, separating your time from your ability to earn money.
Our third milestone, $8,300 a month. Let that sink in for a second. That is a six-figure passive income, $100,000 a year, coming in whether you're working, sleeping, or hiking in the mountains.
Now, to get here with just investments, yeah, you're looking at a pretty big number, somewhere around $2 to $2.5 million. But here's the crazy part. You didn't have to save every single penny of that. By now, your money is doing the heavy lifting for you. Compounding has become this invisible employee that never sleeps and never complains.
And this is where the math just gets wild. A decent 10% year in the market could add $250,000 to your net worth while you're asleep. I mean, think about that. Your portfolio is now earning a salary that many people work 60 hours a week for, and you're just living your life.
Okay, so we've seen the dream, right? The whole path to freedom laid out. But let's get serious for a second and talk about the hardest, most brutal, and most critical part of this entire journey, the very beginning.
This chart really says it all. Just look at the amount of effort it takes to get to that first milestone. It is huge. Getting from zero to that first $1,000 a month takes up a massive, disproportionate chunk of your energy. After that, believe it or not, it actually gets easier because you've got momentum on your side.
And that's because this journey is not a straight line up. It's an exponential curve. And you know what those curves look like at the beginning? Flat. For a long, long time, it feels like nothing is happening. You're putting in all this work and the needle barely moves. You have to grind through that flat part to get to the explosion.
And this just brings it all home. The person making $8,000 a month in passive income isn't necessarily smarter than you or luckier than you. The only difference is they didn't quit when they were only making $400 a month and it felt totally pointless. They just kept going.
I'm not here to tell you what you should do or how fast you should get there. Everyone's situation is different. But I do know this progress became real for me only when I stopped obsessing over the finish line and focused on proving the first step was possible.
So listen, forget about the $100,000 a year goal for now. Seriously, don't even worry about milestone 2. Your only job, your only mission is to get to that first $1,000 per month. That's it. Prove the concept to yourself. So I'll leave you with this question. Where are you on this journey? And what is the very next step you're going to take to hit that first all-important milestone?